Are Clevelanders their own worst critics?
Absolutely.
Say that then.
Clevelanders are their own worst critics because we've seen so much. So we've seen so many hard times. We've experienced uh, failure in business, economically, sports wise. So we have a tendency. We criticize ourselves first before somebody else can get in on it.
And how do we feel when others criticize us?
Oh, we're hypersensitive.
Okay,
We're
say that. When others criticize us.
when others criticize us, it's like we have no skin. I mean, the slightest slight goes right to the core of our hearts. It's always fighting words.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're looking at me or not, but try not to look on this side of the lens.
Stay with
Just look on
Dennis.
Dennis.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Because I can move closer. You tell me.
No, that's okay.
Okay. Um, so talk a bit about the future of this city. What do you think about the future of this city? I mean, you started to go into it a little bit with a kind of spiritual renewal that came with rock and came with the World Series of '95 and '97.
Mhm.
What do you see for the future of this city?
I'm very hopeful.
Okay, say the future first.
I'm very hopeful for the future of the city. I think, we've turned a corner and we're just moving upward. I just see there's a sophistication and an appreciation of our history that sort of is leading towards a new day for Cleveland.
Yeah, I think so too. Talk about again going back to. You want to interrupt him?
No, he just sounded guardedly optimistic.
It's so Cleveland. It's so Cleveland. You started off with a Cleveland joke, and I do believe there's a lot of humor in this city about our character, and I think say a few more things about our character. I mean, that are funny, that are quirky, that are wonderful. I mean.
The thing I love about Clevelanders, and I should have mentioned this earlier, is the sense of humor of Cleveland. It's self deprecating. It goes to it takes no prisoners. And we're happy to make the joke about ourselves. And you see it in our media stars over the years, Goulardi and just the TV shows that were local here that we saw growing up. That just sort of informed the Cleveland person. When I was writing for the San Francisco Examiner, I got more than one letter from a person that said, "I'm from Cleveland and you really remind me, your sense of humor is very Cleveland." And then I would, tell them, yeah, my spiritual family, that you find around the world.
Is there a San Francisco sense of humor?
No.
I totally agree. Having worked there, I don't think they can laugh.
It's a little
So,
precious out there.
Yeah. What makes you most proud to be a Clevelander?
Just the resilience that.
Okay, we'll say that.
Okay, the thing that makes me most proud to be a Clevelander is the resilience this town has, the never give upness, if you will. It's just we never quit, no matter what, no matter how hard, no matter how brutal. I mean, just the fact that we get through the winter every year tells you something about the kind of people who live here.
And what? That's very good. And what? I had a line here. What makes you hesitant to call yourself a Clevelander? What's negative, or what
If I
don't
had,
you appreciate about?
yes,
Where we are.
the one thing that gives me pause and that I wish could change is that it's definitely a city divided. I mean, it's the east side and the west side will never meet, and but I think that even that has begun to change, and I'm happy about that. Back in the day, West Sider would never go to the East Side, and vice versa. And I think now, for various reasons, even just because it's a great restaurant scene in Cleveland, people will go anywhere to go see the new greatest restaurant and try the food.
Yeah, I've actually gone to Tremont. I'm actually proud for you. Let's see. So, what do you think? Once we were the fifth largest city and one of the captains of we were one of the leaders of industry, world,
Yeah.
even in the country. And you know, that heyday kind of went with depression. We were at one point in what we're doing. We were talking about the fact that we were a national player. You know, that we had air races and conventions and fifth in the population and industry. So do you think, given the way the world's changed, do you think Cleveland will ever be a player again in the sense, or is it a player again with some of the things that have happened, like the Republican convention, or again being in the World Series, or just
I think Cleveland is already a player again, but the definition of a player has changed. You no longer have to dominate a region or the country. You know, we have our own niche here, and we dominate that. And people move here, and they are blown away by how many cool things and how rich the culture of this city is.
perfect, absolutely perfect. Well, let me see if I have a few others, Mike. If I have left something out that you wanted,
Yeah, let me look. I'll look at my notes too.
yeah, look at the note.
I'll stop for a